Hey everybody, this is Herschel Froome from High School Top 200 and this 2016 team review of Hastings Boys High is brought to you by Fineline Barbers. Now, my mate Vinnie from Fineline Barbers in September 2017, Fineline Barbers has teamed up with some major barbering suppliers and a few other major supporting companies to create Aotearoa Barber Competition. Now, the idea behind the competition is to help bring the industry recognition to our everyday barbers who are in the barbershop supporting and transforming lives daily through their prospective works. Now, barbers and barbershops from across the country will congregate to for one day in a big one-day competition. So keep an eye out for the Facebook and Instagram pages that will go up about the competition. And the competition will be for all barbers who will be attending, will promote through these social media accounts. So, for example, your local barber can go to these accounts on Facebook and Instagram and basically set themselves up their own profile within these within this Facebook and Instagram account, so that us as viewers can go to these accounts and then check out the work of barbers from around the country and check out their talents and then what they can do. Then on the day you can actually book yourself ahead of time, so that you, on the day that they are here for the competition in September, you can actually book with the barber that you like if he is not within your area. So for example, if someone in Auckland likes a barber from down in Wellington, you can follow their work through Vinnie's Facebook page and Instagram that he sets up, and follow that guy from Wellington, and you can actually book yourself on that day when he comes to the competition, so that you can get a haircut from the guy that you like. Right, so like that's the big benefit. So Vinnie really wants to promote all barbers from all around the country, set them up with profiles, build them out a profile within these Facebooks and Instagram, so that all barbers can see all barbers work and see all the talent that we have in New Zealand in terms of barbers, and also that come competition you'll be ready, you're already familiar with all the guys that are around the country, and it's a great thing for the barbers around New Zealand. The best thing about this is that you don't have to actually have your certificates. If you're just a talented good barber and you want to jump in the competition, you can. You don't have to have a certificate or anything like that to jump in. So there'll be spot prizes and stuff like that on the day, and heaps of barbering tools, so even barbers can come and benefit and see the new products that come out in terms of barber supplies, and also shampoos and waxes, and all the new stuff will be there. And yeah, it's just going to be a good day. It's going to be a really well put together competition, and also just a great way that all the barbers can come together and just, you know, celebrate the talent that they have. Because honestly, to me, going to the barber and sticking with your barber is a real important thing. That's why I always go to Vinnie, and I don't actually go to anybody else, which reminds me I need to get cut up again. So Vinnie, I'm coming. Anyways, let's get together and let's do this. So make sure you keep an eye out for Fineline Barbers, Hastings Boys. Now, they did feature at #1 a couple of times this year, and it was great. You know, they're a great team. They're really well balanced team, and Mark and Tawhai did really good with the coaching of this team, and a lot of these that don't they haven't actually seen them live, they're not actually a very big team. I mean, if you guys were there at the finals, or if you've seen them seen them on TV, TV just doesn't give them, you know, they're just not as big. They're not a big team. They're not a big, solid size kind of team. So when the coaches put this together, they put a really good plan together to actually move the ball and play some really fast rugby. So that's what's actually come out of this this group, is that you've got guys that are real skillfully sound in what they can do and what they do on the field, which actually brings them the wins. They not lost. They didn't lose a game all year within the regular season, so they're perfect in regular season. But then it just comes down to that point where you get into the stages of that top four road, and then things just get harder. I mean, they played Hamilton Boys, so like their best win throughout the season was Hamilton Boys, and they basically gave Hamilton Boys a hiding, and it was funny too because the last game of their season was Hamilton Boys, and they got rained out. Hamilton Boys actually travelled down there, and they couldn't actually play. It was so bad, and then so they played the next weekend. So Hamilton Boys had to travel down again, and Hastings just pumped them. It was 30-8, and Hamilton Boys came back, and I knew things weren't going to be right with Hamilton Boys because of such a shock that they went through with going down there and being just demolished by that much. And that was kind of like the first time I actually really was convinced about how good Hastings Boys was. I mean, facing all those other teams and smashing, that's cool. Like, I understand that, and they went through, Wellington Boys and Gisborne and all that kind of stuff. But when Hamilton Boys went down and they gave Hamilton Boys a hiding, that doesn't actually happen too much at all. Like, not Hamilton Boys. And so when the semi-finals came around, I was thinking, man, this is going to be... I wasn't too sure about it. I wasn't too sure if Hamilton was going to step up or if, Hastings just going to be too hard again. And they had that psychological thing on them. So, yeah, when the game turned out the way that it did, and then Hastings won, but, Hamilton were right there. I just thought Hastings... It's like, man, this team is the truth. This team has got everything... And I actually thought that they were going to win against Mags. Now, this is from like a Hastings Boys perspective. With Liam Buckham not playing and Falau not playing, from a Hastings point of view, that took Lincoln putting him into halfback, and then that took Danny from fullback and then put him into first five, which changed. And it does. That makes a massive difference. And for those guys that were playing reps, that have played these guys, when you take that dynamic out of it, where you have three guys in these real pretty key positions, and you take them out, and you have to change everything else around it, it does make a big difference to the game. So, like, I thought that if Hastings, and I think every Hastings Boys fan thinks this, is that if Falau actually played and Liam actually played, I think Hastings would have won. And that's just from what, obviously you can't change the past, and like that's just the way it is. But that was my thought process as well. It was just the same thing. As that I think Hastings would have won if those two had played. This is a scary thing about Hastings Boys, is that they have so many young guys within their team that almost all of these guys can return. Almost all of them can return. So we are talking Keanu, like even the guys that made the Barbarians in New Zealand secondary schools, they can all return next year. And if they do, honestly, I just think it's going to be lights out for everyone. Everyone just has to sort of coast through the year and think like, well, if we make the top four, then that's great. We'll just do it that way. Everybody else that's in the Hurricanes region is going to find it hard, because Hastings is just going to have that region and own that region if all these players come back. Now, these are all the players that are eligible to coming back. I'm not saying they're coming back, but they can come back and still be under 18. So Lincoln McCutcheon will be back, can be back. Keanu Kiridu can be back. Falau is going to come back for sure because he's year 12. Danny Tuala can also come back. Liam Buckham can also come back. And we also got... who else is coming back? Liam Udi John can come back. Denon Robertson can come back. Miracle can come back. Josiah can come back. Jariah can come back. Gideon can come back. Jacob can come back. So that's like 9 of the starting, and then 4 off the bench. And they also got these young guys that are coming through as well. Gideon is like another one that I really like. Liam is another one I really like. But there's a kid named Jordan Thomas Dunn. and he'll probably be the backup first 5, probably behind Lincoln. But he is only a year 10. He's a year 10 this year, so he'll be year 11 next year, and he is one to watch out for. He's gonna most probably, I haven't done it yet, but most probably gonna be in my top 5 for year 11s next year. And so keep an eye out for Jordan Thomas Dunn to see what goes on with him. But as of now, and I haven't actually said anything out now, but as of now, with all this that's coming about, I see Hastings Boys being the number 1 team in the country for next year. But we'll see who comes back and who returns. Right? This is the Hastings Boys one. Next we've got up Sacred Heart, I think. We're going to go right through the whole list of the top 50. And I'll try and do one every day. So any information, send it through. Keep an eye open for the next one. And High School Top 200. Peace.